Hello everyone. Trying a new way of recording here. Wow, this laptop battery thing's huge. So this is the load of laptops from the video. I don't know when I'll get this out, from last week. We'll just say the last video I uploaded. How about that? So those that Core i7 was a 2600S, and I posted it for $60. Doesn't mean I'll get it, but you know, you never know what's going to sell when. I just sold a Dell server power supply for $40. That's always nice, because I haven't gotten a server in probably 6 months. Getting that time of year when the amount of material I get in slows down, and it's been really hard. I mean, I've been watching the auctions, but you can't get anything at a decent price anymore. You know, everybody's doing away with their servers and going to the cloud. So you'd think that that would lower the price on servers, but heck, I mean, 15 servers they're trying to get $500, $600, $700 for, and I just ain't going to pay it. You know, some of them, I mean, it may be well worth it, but I would hate to buy them and then just get stuck with scrap prices on it, you know. I did, when I first started, we went to an auction and was able to pick up a toner. And, I mean, I paid $500 for the pallet, but I ended up making $1,200 on the ink. You know, so I was prepared to pay what I did. Still would have liked to have gotten it a little cheaper, but you know how that goes. So today, in my garage, it is about 35 degrees. So I just got back out here, went inside, took a break, grabbed some lunch. We went and picked up a couch earlier. All right, so batteries are done. I wanted to show you guys this. This came out of that copier. Pretty. So I'm gonna put him. Let's see if he'll come off easy. Sometimes you can get them to just break free. I know a lot of you guys will heat gun it, but if I can get it to come off easy just by breaking it or whatever, I'll do that. And I can feel it starting to go already. Well, Mr. Michael Murphy, I can imagine your mornings are probably around 25 to 30 degrees right now. You seem to be about 20 degrees cooler than we are normally. Well, not too bad. I hate that the gold doesn't glow as nice as it does when it's up against that green, you know. But what I'll do is, before I put this away, I'll bust the glass, try and get as much glass out as I can. Let me see. You guys see that? Okay. And then I'll come through and I'll cut this up into pieces for anything that might be down inside of there. And then I'm going to throw it in with the crystal oscillators. Dun, 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 dun. That's what these are. I don't know if that's right or that's wrong, guys, but that's how I do it. You know, I've been adding oscillators to this thing for 2 years, 3 years, and it's barely, and I don't even think that that's a half pound. Kind of crazy, eh? But like I said, I'm finishing up taking care of when I go through laptops, only the Wi-Fi boards like this, things like this, they'll have these little golden connectors, and I cut those off, and I just put this in my gold plated material, which I'll run through a sulfuric cell. I'm still kind of tempted to do a little refining. I hate pulling everything out and then a customer calls and I have to run. You know, I mean, I don't hate when the customer calls, but I hate getting this all together and then having to run and then leaving it out. And I don't know, if I'm not going to be here, I don't want it to where my grandkids can come in contact with it, you know. Safety first, right? So a lot of the materials I have now, I keep out in the electronic shed. So I'll do the work right here, and then I'll take it piece by piece out to the shed to store. This guy happened to catch my eye. This board was actually sat on top of a laptop. I can't remember what that laptop was called. It was Evo or something like that. But now that I've seen this guy, we gotta get him off of there. So I just get a decent grip without crushing it, and then I turn it like that. And then once he's whole, I'll bring him up. And then bigger ones like this, I'll end up cutting twice. And then that way, when it is time to refine this, all I got to do is put it in acid. It's ready to go. I'm pretty sure I went through. Actually, that was in a video, wasn't it? See, like, here's a big one. I mean, I'll end up double checking it just to make sure that everything is done. But with it all being cut up, you'll be able to spot a piece that isn't done pretty easily. Let me see. And then actually the legs, I'm going to take these off and put this with the gold plated material. I mean, yeah, it would have helped the yield on the other stuff, but there's a lot of extra metal there that would need to be dissolved, and I try and clean up everything as well as I can just to save on acids and save time, really. Those oscillators, I haven't decided. I've had some guys tell me to go for it and just run it nitric. I've had some say hit it with AP, and that's probably what I will end up doing, is just leaving it in AP for a couple weeks and then come back and take care of it. Get rid of this real quick. So how about them Buckeyes? Sorry, Mike, I had to, buddy. I don't watch football as much as I used to. Every single game I used to be in there watching it, but I don't know. My favorite NFL team is the Cowboys. And before you say anything, I've been a Cowboys fan since 1975. I've never rooted for another team. Well, except for the Buckeyes, but they're college, so they don't count. See something like that. I like to cut it just in case. Yeah, it's got some guts. What have we got in there? But yeah, I don't know. I may have told this story before. My brother put up on the wall a poster of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders when I was like 4 years old. And you know, that's about the age you start figuring out that boys and girls are different. Is that what I think it is? Guys, be careful whenever you come across white ceramic, because there's a good chance that that's beryllium oxide instead of ceramic. And it's it can't hurt you touching it, but when you crush that and it becomes a powder, it can go airborne and get in your lungs, and it'll kill you. You know, the dangers of breathing this, it'd be almost like sticking your nose over a bottle of nitric and just breathing it in. You know, because it builds up over time, and you don't know that you're being poisoned until the day you realize you've been poisoned. So what we do, guys, is actually really dangerous. Be smart about it. Be smart about everything you do. I would hate to hear that anybody got hurt because they watched my video and they thought they could just go do this and that. Do your research. You know, you get just a little bit of gold off of this stuff. There's not a lot of gold here. I mean, the amount of gold you get from electronics, you'd be better off going to McDonald's and working part-time and using your paychecks and buying gold. And that's the honest to God truth. This is not going to make you rich getting gold from electronics. Now, if you happen to run into like old material and ended up running into like, I don't know, 300, 400,000 chips like this, and you go to process, yeah, you're going to do real good. But today's material is not going to give you the kind of return that it takes for the amount of work you're putting in. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, I found this guy. Look at that. This was along with this chip here. Like I said, it was sitting, it was under the cover on a laptop, a silver cover just sitting on top. And like I said, it said, I think it was Evo, something like that. I can't remember the brand. So, alright, what we got in here? Any goodies? Come on, Mike, make mess. Why not? Hey, there she is. Got a little quiet, I know. I'm honestly sitting here trying to figure out what else to talk about, and I'm freezing. Here's something for you guys to think about. All right. Yeah, you got gold plate there, and this is probably flash plating, but unfortunately you don't know until you run it through. But you see that little bit of tin on there? I have two piles, you know. I have gold fingers and material from boards like this. Then I have one with tin only, and that'll go in that part. And these guys here, these little metal boxes. Careful when you're taking these off, because you can get hurt. I know, because I do it to myself all the time. Alright. There's another one. Let me show you what I'm going to do to this guy. So, got the steel on. Alright, so you know we're going to cut the fingers. Oh, you cut my finger. Alright. Next thing we're going after is the oscillator. And he doesn't want to come off, of course. Well, son of a bitch. Okay. When it gets like this, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and crunch him and then scrape him off of the board. I'll scrape him, but I try and leave most of it on the board so I can just dump it in. All right. And that was the lid. Okay. Next thing I do is these little gold connectors is I pull these off for the for gold plate. And there's not a lot here, guys. I'm just processing a few of these boards on video so you guys can see it. Normally I'm doing this when I've got like nothing else to do, or maybe I'm getting ready to leave. And then I'll cut these guys here. Now, at this point, what do we got left? We've got 5 ICs. I could take those off and we could process them, or I just take the board and I throw it with my green board. Now, if you're looking to process a lot of material, it would be good to, go ahead and get those guys off of there, because seeing that these are from laptops, they're probably pretty good chips. Because not all of your chips have gold. Not all IC chips are made the same. Keep that in mind. You can send a pound of IC chips in, and one time you'll get back a half a gram of gold, and another time you'll get 2.5 grams. But normally you're going to be on the lower end of the spectrum, especially with today's materials. So go ahead and take him. And then this one goes into my green boards. I know this stuff right here looks really good, but it's probably just flash plating. We can go ahead and take the sides. That's not too hard to get to. Okay. This one, let's go ahead and knock these guys out since we're here. And usually the way I do that is I just scrape. I use my cutters to scrape across. And then the little piece of gold ends up with my aluminum. That's real good, Mike. All right. I'm just going to look in here because it's not that full. And I actually found it. That doesn't happen very often. Usually when it hits one of those containers, it's gone for good. Alright guys, I think I've probably bored you enough, and I'm going to turn on some of my motivational stuff. I've seen that Ewaste bin had a new video out. I may turn that on. I watch your guys' videos, or I put on motivational stuff. A lot of you guys will say, well, that's not for me. Honestly, you can learn a lot from successful people, and I do my best to study them. Like, a lot of the successful people of today, came from nothing, and they worked their way up. I used to think that people with money, would rob and steal and this, that, and the other. But honestly, a lot of them are really good people. And they're where they're at today because they worked really hard to get there. And I'm trying to mirror a lot of what they do. The only way to be successful is through really, really hard work. I put in, I've slacked off a lot this last month, but I'll put in at least 12 hours a day. At least I try to anyway. All you can do is keep pushing on. A lot of times it's like you're going nowhere, and you may see even weeks on end where you're broke, and it seems like everything you're doing is just leading nowhere. Well, that's when you got to push even harder, because you are getting somewhere. It's just things are making their way around. It'll come back. Just do good to everyone you come across, and live a good life. Be happy. Be thankful for what you have. There are people in this world, I don't care how bad you're doing, there's somebody out there that's got it worse than you. There's people in this world that work, they have to walk freaking 6 hours a day to get water. And then they walk sick. And then they get up in the next morning and they have to go do it again. So always be thankful for what you have. Unless it's a board like this. Oh, sorry guys. You weren't meant to hear that. And for the one of you that is still listening, really though, be thankful. Be thankful every day for what you have and the people in your life. You got people like oh God. I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. Everybody that's in your life, every single person you know, is going to die one day. I hate to be morbid and bring that fact up, but it's true. Every single person you know, including yourself, you're going to die one day. So make sure that if, let's say you got problems with a family member and you haven't talked to them in a long time, Maybe it's time to forgive and forget. Well, you don't even have to forget, but forgiveness is something God gave to us so that we don't carry that burden around. Because if you're angry at somebody, it hurts them. It doesn't hurt them at all. It hurts you. So you guys take care. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and get back to work. You guys, I love every one of you. And that was where the aluminum was. Love every one of you, and I hope you do well. Mike's out.